Interweb, what's up? If I somehow ninja'd my way into your subfeed, it was through one of these.
In the vibrant heart of London, Musi Imnetu, a 41-year-old Swedish chef of Eritrean origin, known for his culinary expertise and association with celebrity.
Alrighty, now that that's out of the way. Today, we're talking about the loss of a titan of the media industry. Mr. James Earl Jones has passed away at the age of 93. Former Twitch employee Cody Conners has responded to Dr. Disrespect's livestream where he called the employee out by name. And Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill had a run-in with police, and the body cam footage is now out and available. All in this... episode of But before we get started, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss an update. Now, Alice, pull up the file on the tremendous loss that just happened.
James Earl Jones, the legendary actor known for his powerful voice and trailblazing career, has passed away at the age of 93.
Now here's one that I'm sure hits home for a lot of us. James Earl Jones's life is nothing short of epic. From humble beginnings to becoming one of the most iconic voices and actors of all time, this man overcame incredible odds and left a lasting mark on both the stage and screen. Let's take a moment to really appreciate the scope of his career and the influence he had. Born in Mississippi in 1931, Jones's early life was tough. His father left before he was born, and he struggled with a severe stutter that left him practically mute for years. Imagine being so self-conscious about speaking that you could only communicate with notes, and then growing up to become one of the most recognized voices in the world. That is some true movie-level transformation. It was his high school professor, Donald Crouch, who changed everything, pushing him to read his poetry out loud in class. That act of courage started him on a path that would lead to a career spanning 6 decades. Of course, most people are going to remember the man as the voice of Darth Vader, one of the most iconic villains in cinema history. That deep, booming voice made lines like,
"No, I am your father."
Immortal. It's impossible to imagine Darth Vader without Jones's voice, which I'm pretty sure Disney owns his likeness now, so the voice probably isn't going anywhere, but, you know, that's not the same. No offense, Alice.
None taken.
And remember, he didn't just voice villains. He was the one and only Mufasa, the wise and loving father of Simba. Oh my god, I just realized Mufasa has actually died now. Anyways, Jones wasn't just a voice actor, he was a powerhouse in the theater too. Winning 2 Tony Awards for The Great White Hope and Fences, Jones proved that he had the chops to dominate any medium. His work in Shakespearean roles like Othello and King Lear showed his range and depth, while his performances in plays like Driving Miss Daisy kept him active on Broadway well into his later years. The man was unstoppable. His impact went far beyond his performances. Jones was one of the first African-American actors to break through in a major way, becoming a pioneer for black performers in an industry that often tended to limit their roles. His success in diverse, complex characters helped break stereotypes and open the door for future generations of actors. So everyone, let's raise him up one last time for a man whose presence dominated generations. We'll miss you, James.
Former Twitch employee Cody Conners has responded to backlash after revealing the alleged reason for Dr. Disrespect's 2020 Twitch ban.
Alright, quick recap. In 2020, when Dr. Disrespect was mysteriously booted off Twitch, everyone was kind of left scratching their heads because neither Twitch nor the doc gave any clear reasonings. Then Cody Conners, a former Twitch employee, dropped the bombshell that the doc's ban was allegedly due to inappropriate messages sent to a minor. Conners also claimed that the doc was planning on meeting up with the individual at TwitchCon. Naturally, the revelation set off a chain reaction, and helped spawn a few hilarious videos.
Oh my gosh, dude, I did it! Did what? I hit 1 million subs! Wow, what are you gonna do now? A minor. What? No! No, you don't understand, like I have to, it's a part of the job.
Companies ended up distancing themselves from Dr. D, including his own game studio Midnight Society. Facing the storm, he confirmed the allegations, at least momentarily, in a now deleted post on Twitter. After that, he went on a little hiatus and returned to YouTube this month. That's September if you're watching this in the future for some reason, where he has now addressed the situation. He denied that Conners had any first-hand knowledge of the incident and claimed that the alleged meetup was never part of the plan. And because the doc doesn't exactly do subtle, he threw some shade at Conners, accusing him by name of stirring up drama for, quote, no reason, and hinted at legal repercussions. Doing this kind of thing in character, though, it's a little poor taste. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. It was probably a bad idea. He should have done it without the whole disrespect thing. Now, Conners is fired back, posting about not needing a lawyer and joking about not having to show up in court. And as it stands, it looks like Dr. D hasn't moved forward with any actual legal action, either yet or publicly. But if he's gonna clear his name, he's definitely gonna have to sue. I'm sure this has all cost him some millions of dollars or some shit like that in sponsorship and deals. And if he's right, I feel like it's a pretty open and shut case of defamation or slander. I think it's defamation because he said it. It's definitely not libel. It's not printed. Oh my God, it was on text. Is it printed? Is it libel? Anyways, we'll have to see if he makes any moves.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was involved in a tense altercation with Miami-Dade police ahead of a game this past Sunday.
Okay, let's break this down real quick. Tyreek Hill is on his way to Hard Rock Stadium before the Dolphins game against the Jaguars. He's pulled over by the Miami-Dade police initially for alleged reckless driving, and from the get-go, it's clear there's some tension. Hill doesn't immediately lower his window and then rolls it back up after a back and forth with the officer. That's when things escalated. Officers pulled him out of his car, slammed him to the ground, and slapped the cuffs on him. The police union defended the officer, saying Hill wasn't being cooperative, and for their safety, they did have to handcuff him. They also mentioned that Hill refused to sit down, leading to more force being applied. But Hill's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, was claiming the whole thing was unnecessary. He stated that Hill, a star player, shouldn't have ended up in handcuffs at his own stadium. So basically, he's pulling the rich and powerful card. Now, all of this definitely wasn't the pre-game routine that Hill had in mind, but he still went out to play the game and even had a sense of humor about it, celebrating a touchdown by pretending to be handcuffed. After the game, he mentioned that he wasn't being disrespectful and was trying to follow the rules, and touched on the possibility of race playing a role in how the whole thing unfolded. The police department has launched an investigation, and one of the officers has already been pulled from duty. That rich and famous card is powerful. Can you imagine if Hill was injured to the point of being unable to play, though? The officers in question would be in so much more trouble than they are, because that would have cost some very rich people a lot of money. And I don't think being a cop is enough protection from that much money. Just saying. Anyways, on that bit of news, I'm gonna call it. If you like what you saw, smash the damn like button. Let YouTube know we're worth a damn. And, well, I'll catch you next time. Oh, I spent $300 on this fucking thing. Disney is a master at taking my money.